Streaming. Cool.
Oh, pass my laptop as well. Let me load up YouTube from there actually. Don't feel good in your hands. Just hold it for a second longer. Don't feel good.
Taste crab now.
You don't feel good now. Pause.
Pause. Are we live?
About to find out.
Minister of Enjoyment. Intercontinental. Huh. Monumental. You go live
Yeah, you are.
We're live, yeah? Can you hear us?
Where's the... Nigga, where's your camera? Is your camera on OBS?
Yeah.
Oh, you've blocked it.
You ready, yeah?
Yeah. Eesh.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Someone said I was about to do a meditation and you came live. Hey.
Came live. Came live.
Came live, crazy.
I swear they normally like let me do the chat box thing, right?
Yeah, you get it from YouTube, no?
No.
So how do you get your chat?
I don't know. I'll pre on YouTube though.
I need to slow down this chat ASAP anyway.
You control the chat in it, so you can do that.
Yeah. It's funny because I think I put it to like 60 seconds per thing.
And it's still
And
moves
it's still
stuff.
fast.
Yeah. Can I see us fine? Perfect. All I want to see is the chat. How do I open this to be bigger? Can you full screen the chat?
Pop out. Yeah.
Can you zoom in? Oh, this
I didn't know you could do that.
This is so much better.
Have you never done this before?
No, I've never done this before, believe it or not.
So now you'll be able to see the chat.
Skin's always looking smooth. You know how it gets. Leather in the library, always.
Nero, it's hot, bro.
Nah, it is. Fill me with your knowledge, Nero. Steady.
Yeah, this is much better stuff.
Why are you recording on CCTV? You know, I told you, like, I'm not changing this camera. I'm never changing this camera.
It's funny because my actual camera's here. And we could have just used that. But
That would have been long, though.
yeah, it would have still.
Alright, cool. Let me just post this.
Guys, don't trust Nero. He impregnated me 137 times.
What?
137 times.
Should we break down the numerology of that? 1 plus 3 plus... Alright, cool. Let's get to some actual questions. One thing that I wanted to say as a preface, this stream is titled Dreams to Reality, and the only way that you can ever transform your dream into a reality is through its normalization. A big mistake that a lot of people make is perceiving their dreams as their dreams. Not only perceiving it that way, but calling it that. And when you call something a dream, think about what a dream is. A dream is a state of existence that you go under when you're unconscious. And when you're conscious through your day, if you're calling your desired reality a dream, then you're going to be unconscious of it because that's what you associate to be with a dream. You need to normalize it, and you normalize it through seeing it less than you are. A lot of the difficulties that a lot of people have when it comes to materializing what they want is perceiving it to be greater than them. Your perception is directly interconnected to your projection. With that being said, shoot some questions and we'll go through it. Shoot some questions. AJ's only here for like an hour and 15 minutes. And if it's rolling good, then I'll continue. But if you lot... Oh, whoa.
What to do when you started feeling hopeless? Hopeless about what?
When you're starting to feel hopeless or any particular degree of negative emotion, what that's an indication of is that you have more external authority than internal authority. If you allow the external to dictate your internal, then you become its slave. If you're feeling hopeless, it's because what you want to see isn't unfolding. And if you need to see something, then that means you don't have it within. And the only way that you can attain it within is by stimulating a degree of emotional intensity in reflection of whatever it is that you want already being something that you have, as opposed to seeing yourself separated from it. Rampico, Balotelli. Nero, have you read the Emerald Tablets? Yeah, I've read them and I've got them over there. Bro, please talk about the left-hand path. No, I don't need to talk about the left-hand path. And for those of you who don't know, in the occult, there's two particular paths. There's the right hand and then the left hand. And then there's also the arcana of the in and the arcana of the outer. A lot of people go down the left-hand path simply due to the fact... In the most respectful way, it's not necessarily something that you have to go through. A lot of people go down that path to get what it is that they want in this reality, without realizing that fundamentally, if you look at the Hermetic principles, the first principle is the universe is mental. So the left-hand path is down the path of...
I'm thinking, what the hell?
You thought I broke my wrist or something. The left-hand path is the path of like conjuring spirits, necromancy, and being able to make deals with certain spirits and go down, lesser keys of Solomon, Goetia, and all of that type of stuff, which isn't necessarily anything you need to go down. I'd recommend you stay away from that because a lot of people end up burnt from that, as opposed to just being able to control your subconscious mind. Because if you do that, you can get what it is you want. You don't need to make any deals with anything. You're the materialization of God. So why are you making deals with the universe instead of commanding the universe? Why are you making deals with entities and spirits? That's what people do down that particular path. And I've studied it because I was interested, but it's nothing that I'd ever do. I don't play with all of that. I manifested my credit card debt paid off, and sure enough, my universe presented me with an opportunity that just did that for me. Congratulations. That's lovely stuff. How to cross the bridge of disappointment. Put your heart out there again. When they're talking about the bridge of disappointment, essentially what I'm saying is expectation creates reality. Expectation is creation. What you get what you expect. And more often than not, we've been disappointed so many times to such a degree that we just say to ourselves, we're not going to expect anything good, and we're afraid to cross the bridge of disappointment. But when you cross that bridge of disappointment and you're willing to be disappointed, what you need to do, the fact that you're disappointed is an indication that internally you aren't where you need to be. Because if you can be disappointed, that's the external affecting the internal. Once again, sort that out. What's your thoughts on people using psychedelics to shift in perspectives? Yeah, you can do that if you want. I've never done it. A lot of people will say that I'm limited because I haven't done that, but to me that's just, it's not necessarily anything you have to do per se.
Someone said, do you ever get tired while working, and how do you rest?
I meditate a lot.
That's the way you're resting?
Huh?
That's your way of resting?
Yeah, and I mean, it depends what you define. What's considered work to me is something that I really like, so I can't really say that I experience it in such a degree. Like, of course, sometimes when I got client calls, I'm like, I'm tired or whatever, but I don't know. I'm never really burnt out. You'll find yourself being burnt out in that particular line of thinking once you're prioritizing doing instead of being. I focus on my state of being, and that's what I get all my clients to do, as opposed to doing, because you believe that doing leads to creation, but it doesn't. Doing does lead to creation if you have the subconscious belief that it does, but then you lock your creation into limitation because doing or action is associated with the illusionary realm. But our state of being is always resonant with where we want to be, whether we're doing anything or not. I'm live on YouTube. Minister of Enjoyment. Intercontinental. Monumental. You go live forever.
I think you should get in your self-development bag.
Who, me?
Yeah.
No thanks.
I think they'll find it valuable, bro.
And what does that look like? Oh, take cold showers.
No. Obviously, the shit that you actually do, of course.
But I talk about what I do.
You don't make videos about what you do. You just mention it slyly.
Okay, give me an example.
Like, for example, being productive. How do you schedule your shit?
It's not about productivity. It's not necessarily about discipline. It's about focus. Focus beats discipline every single time. A lot of people think that they need to be a monk in order to do whatever it is that they want and focus on a particular degree of productivity. But if you can focus on the execution of creating, if you focus on executing tasks that lead to the biggest changes, you don't need discipline as much as you think. So I know a lot of degenerates that are living extremely successful lives, and they're not waking up at 5 a.m. to do a cold plunge and then this and this and that. But when they wake up, they know if I do this big task extremely well with an extreme amount of focus, that'll be a domino effect throughout every aspect of my life. That's called the Pareto principle, 80-20 rule. Make sure you look that up.
See, that'd be a good self-development video.
I'm not really sure I'm in the self-development bag.
Someone said don't listen to AJ.
Yeah. I pride myself on being a metaphysician.
Well, if you guys know, because we're live, there's no video Sunday. Someone said you're recording with a microwave.
Microwave is nuts. What kind of meditation do you practice? I sit in silence for about an hour straight. That's it. Don't associate with my thoughts. Don't judge them. Don't agree with them. Don't disagree with them. Just let that slide. I manifested 23K. Thank you, bro. That's all you. That's all you. How do you break free from apathy or suppressed desires? That's two different questions. Pick one. How do you expect the best, Gangi? Make the decision to expect it. Expectation is a form of preparation. So prepare. Bless me. AJ, you should make productivity videos on your channel.
You said that. Shut up, Zachariah. Chowdhury. No, I'm joking.
Nero, do you listen to Future all the time? Got my baby mama and my savage kissing. I'm making my 14-year-old daughter read your book as punishment.
Punishment?
Punishment!
She ain't associating nothing good with the book.
Yeah. That's actually terrible. I feel like a lot of people make reading a punishment for their kids without, and I'm assuming you're joking, so please don't take this serious, but a lot of people associate reading and literature and education to be a type of punishment with their children, so they form the subconscious association with education and punishment, hence why they hate school. So, and please don't make your daughter hate me. I've done nothing wrong. I don't need her to think to herself every time she's getting in trouble, oh, I gotta read this nigga's book again. I haven't done anything. I have not done anything, so please leave me out of it. What's your top 10 of all time, AJ? Why the name Nero? Because I used to roll around calling myself V De Niro, but then I realized I'm an African guy. I can't really walk around with the name De Niro, so I just shortened it to Nero. Plus, it means genius in Finnish and black in Italian.
What does it mean in Spanish?
Your favorite Future song, You Do Look Like Him. That's how I know you're white. And you're probably European, because my European friends have the most outrageous looks. I told you one of my friends said I look like Quavo, and he's from Romania. At you, and I'm just like, we just look nothing alike. No, and he said Obama next, and I said those two people are like so far apart. Like, how do we even get there? I literally look nothing like Future. Explain the flow state. Can you tap in indefinitely? No, because it's a passing state. Like any particular emotion, like any particular state, it's something that is fleeting. You can stabilize yourself to operate from there, but the only way that you can get there is to really believe that you're there. So a lot of people do work and then wait to believe that they're in a flow state, as opposed to deciding that they're going to go into a flow state. Because the more that you begin to take subconscious control through conscious control in a state of relaxation, the more you allow for that flow state to come through. Because flow state is nothing more than a transcendent of time when you're no longer conscious and your subconscious mind is in activation. But that can only occur when you're doing something to a point where you become consumed in it in a prerequisite state of relaxation in order to get there, because that's what triggers your subconscious mind, or your brain, into producing alpha and theta state brainwaves, which is the gate to the subconscious mind, which is what allows you to transcend conscious rationale.
Someone asked if you're in a library.
No, this is my office. This is literally my office. So all of these books are mine. Difference between Gnosticism and Kabbalah principles. Gnosticism doesn't really have principles per se. It's more so a philosophy. So Gnosticism is a particular or a perspective upon the idea that, you know, the God of the Old Testament is an entity called the demiurge that hijacked it, and it thrives off negativity, pain, and suffering. Hence why that God is associated with wrath, jealousy, and all of that. And they believe that the demiurge hijacked this third dimensional realm from the one true creator, and that one true creator led to materialization of Christ in order to imbalance it, right? And then there's these archons that want to thrive off your negativity, so on and so forth. And Kabbalah is more so the metaphysics associated with the Torah and the Talmud. You know, that's when we go into concept talking about Malkuth, the upper world, the lower world, the 10 Sifriyot, which are all, well, that in of itself is a diagram, but there's multiple different explanations of it. Are the only two emotions love and fear? No, I don't believe that. A lot of spiritual people say that, because how can they be the only two emotions when they both have their energetic polarities of them? Oh wow, I thought your name was about your fascination with the brain. Pause on that. That's not the type of brain I'm fascinated with, you know what I'm saying?
Someone said, bro, you look like KSI, end the story.
Okay, yeah. Sick. What's good, guys? What's up?
High chosen empress.
Hi, AJ.
Someone said, I am Nero.
Nero, do I need a practice like visualization to manifest? Not necessarily, because you manifest independently to visualization. What techniques are supposed to do, a lot of people believe that techniques create reality, but techniques don't create reality per se. What they do is shift your internal state in order for it to be reflective of your desired reality. That's what they do. Why are you shaking your head?
They're just saying you look like other black people
Yeah,
now.
see. Now it's just...
Someone said Deji. You know what Deji is, right? Yeah.
My man's brother,
Yeah,
innit?
yeah.
I don't even know what to say.
Favorite movie? Interstellar.
Ooh, favorite movie. Ooh.
Interstellar.
Oh, okay. Captain America, Winter Soldier.
My gosh. Have some taste.
Captain America, Winter Soldier.
Have some taste.
Captain America, Winter
Have
Soldier.
some taste.
Or Menace to Society.
Okay.
Ooh, what else would I put there? I'm not sure.
Hold up, why is the one-to-one mentoring for entrepreneurs? Why can't you provide one-to-one mentoring for the man? Bro, what do you think these videos
What do you think the videos are for? You know, people ask me that all the time. Somebody said, why do you only work with professional athletes, Hollywood actors, and 7-8-figure entrepreneurs? Guys, I make the videos for you for free. Listen to me. What they pay me for is what I put in those videos. Listen to me again. What they pay me for is what I give to you for free. So if you want to come and pay me 25K, you do that. But you don't need to, because I put everything that I tell them in the videos. Hence why I can go to them and charge them that and give you guys this for free. You understand what I'm saying? Now, of course, there's the aspect of them wanting to a bit more personal understanding on their own perspective, because when you watch my videos, all you can do is take the information and try to apply it to yourself. So what they pay me for is the convenience of tailoring that information to them. But please, don't think it's going to be anything different. Hence why I keep telling you, you don't need to pay me for nothing. I put everything in these videos for free. Stuff that they pay me for. You would think that an individual that is hired by professional athletes, celebrities, 7 to 8 figure entrepreneurs, who's giving the same information for free, people would take it better. Someone said The Dark Knight is better than The Winter Soldier. I changed my answer. The Dark Knight trilogy, best films ever. Dark Knight trilogy, best film ever. The one in particular, the one with the Bane. So I believe that's The Rising. Dark Knight Rises, I think.
That's pathetic. What if I want to pay for that?
Oh, hay fever's going crazy.
You got hay fever? Man up, bro.
Sometimes.
Man up, man.
Sometimes.
AJ getting the VIP and all of this for free.
He ain't even take me serious. We'll play FIFA and I'll repeat same stuff that we've spoke about in
No,
videos.
it's true. To be fair, we did have a few one-on-one calls, and plus we just talk on a regular basis.
So it's like natural
And
anyways.
he says what he'll tell me to his clients and to you guys. Like, I'll sit here and watch the videos and be like, oh, this guy told me this yesterday.
Nero, are drastic appearance changes to possible to manifest? Cool. Once again, I'm gonna say this for the last time because I said this in another live, so I'll say it again. A lot of people will have this idea that they want to materialize a change in appearance. Guys will say, "Can I manifest getting taller?" Girls can say, "Can I manifest this in my body? Can I manifest looking like this?" Guys will say, "Can I manifest this?" What you have to come to an understanding of is that your appearance isn't the issue. The desire to change something external is an indication of something that has to be changed internally, which is your perception towards the thing that you don't like about yourself. If I was to ask you, what don't you like about yourself, then you would probably express, oh, I don't like the way my nose is, my eyes are, my hairline, my height, this and this and that. But what you have to come to an understanding of, instead of seeking to manifest a change in your appearance, the more simpler thing to do would be to love the way that you are. And that would be the more powerful thing to do, because in doing so, you put yourself in a position to be loved and adored by other people. If you don't adore the way that you look, how can anybody else? If you believe that the way that you look contributes to some type of limitation in your ability to get girls or to get guys, then that frequency in of itself from that belief is ultimately what's project that causes the issue, not how you look. Please listen to what I just said. But yeah, The Dark Knight trilogy is my favorite films. Cause and effect video, Ed.
Cause and effect video, what is it? I've been trying, guys. I've been trying. Thoughts on manifesting your girlfriend back after a breakup? Is that SP? Does that count as SP? Or is that more love? Because technically someone they've already been with and no. You know
well, all you'd have to do is get back into the state that you was in when you was with her. So I'm assuming when you was with her, you're like, man, I'm so glad to have her. I'm so grateful to have you. You need to get back into that state of consciousness. The type of conversations that you'd have when you was in love is the internal conversations you need to have right now. More often than not, when people separate, they begin to argue in each other's heads. Think about when you beef your girl, you start arguing. When she'll be in the living room, you'll be in here beefing in your head thinking, yeah, you know, I should have said this, I should have said this, without coming to the understanding that all that line of thinking, that mental activity equates to also a frequency that they pick up because your frequency speaks before you've even spoken. So in order to get her back, you'd have to establish a particular degree of internal harmony with thoughts that are reflective and suggestive that you are already together. What's your take on witchcraft? Witchcraft is all around. What makes you think pregnancy is in a form of witchcraft? That's the materialization of a soul from the spiritual plane onto the physical plane, but you don't perceive it like that. What makes you think that when I give somebody a sugar pill and tell them it's a painkiller and their body begins to respond as if it's a painkiller, that's not a form of witchcraft? How does that make sense?
Bust guns, bust judge, then we bust case.
Bust guns, bust judge, then we bust case. Thoughts on hypnosis. Hypnosis is a very real thing. Hypnosis, beyond the dramatization that you see in Hollywood, is nothing more than someone's brainwave state being calibrated to alpha and theta, which gives access to the subconscious mind and gives you the capability of bypassing their conscious rational mind. That's all it is. I have multiple books on hypnosis.
Man, I'm saying direct time tutorial.
Maybe I'll do that.
Why can't you manifest them?
How to not care about what people say. Understand that even when people say what they're saying, they're not saying what they're saying based on who you are. They're saying what they're saying based upon where they are. So somebody's capability of seeing something in reality is directly interconnected to the frequency that they're operating at. So why would I care for what people want to say about me if they're not in the frequency that I wish to be perceived in? I'm sure I don't really see what people say about me online, nor do I care. But I can imagine seeing a young black nigger who says nigger, for example, in the way that I just said it, with a tank top or a vest and a silver necklace and a do-rag, does throw people off from the, I guess, archetype of what you deem a spiritual person to be like, which is probably namaste, beloved, hello family, and all of this other particular line of thinking that I don't care to adhere to, because I'm not here for you guys to like me. I'm here for you guys to understand what I'm saying and go about your lives and live your lives. I don't want people to worship me or think I'm this or that. If you come to me thinking I'm greater than you or better than you, then you've already missed the step. Christ even said himself, the works that I can do, you can do, and greater, because I go into my Father, which is a reference to the unification with the infinite intelligence from a point of consciousness. And that's what you have to begin to understand. But I don't see nobody walking on water.
Someone said, how do I manifest my girl to act right?
Yeah, charge that one to the game.
Yo, you guys are funny, bro.
Yo, charge that one to the game. Yo, what's his name? So you can...
go back up.
So you can show your girl what you're doing.
He put it in all caps. Fly with Dave.
Fly with Dave. Say less. We're gonna find your girl, and we're gonna hold on. Let me. Yeah, that's going straight to your girl, mate. That's going straight to your girl. What's your take on the Severance series? I actually need to finish it. I ain't even finished it. Yeah, Severance is hard. It shows that the mind can't be compartmentalized to no matter how much you think. Because even when that main guy would go down in the morning and his eyes would be puffy, but when he gets in the elevator, he doesn't know why he was crying. But still, those emotions are still there.
Yeah.
Thanks for putting me on Asco, bro. You're welcome. Do you believe in soul ties? Yes. How do I manifest 100 hoes? You can only have what you already have. Thoughts on Bashar? What are your thoughts? You niggas need to stop asking me my thoughts on people. Because if I go and say, no, I don't like them, what are you going to do now? Are they going to be discredited simply because I don't like them? And if I do like them, are they going to be inflated? It has to be entirely independent. One thing I want for you guys to have is intellectual independence. It's not about what I think about a certain person. It's not about what I think about a certain person's teachings. Implement it if it works for you. That's all that fucking matters. I'm not here to say that my way is the only way. I'm here to show you that you are the way. Lord of the Rings. What do you know about Bilbo Baggins?
Never watched Lord of the Rings. That's nerdy, bro. That's like... It's like Harry Potter.
No, Harry Potter's whack.
Like Harry
Don't
Potter.
ever compare Lord of the Rings to Harry Potter. Don't ever compare Lord of the Rings to Harry Potter.
That, like, skinny-ass goblin guy.
You mean Gollum?
Is that his name?
My precious.
Yeah, that's it. That's some weird stuff, bro.
Can't with this guy.
Yo, does Ajay have the brains like you or what? No, I do not.
His brain's better. Nero, have you read Pimpology? Actually, I have. I think it's by Ken. Is it Pimping Ken, I think?
That jacket hard as fuck. How do we get Outsmarting Reality signed? Book tour, Nero?
You can't get that signed, mate. In fact, do me a favor. You sign it yourself because you're the only person who matters. Can you summarize your book in one sentence? Yeah, Amazon bestseller in all three categories. Bro, this is the third message. Recommend me some books. No. Bro, I've already got a whole book, bro. I got a photo on Instagram with me surrounded by hundreds of books. I have a whole video on books that I recommend.
No, yeah, you do.
I have my own book right there. Why are you asking me for books? Why are you asking me for books? But just to give you a couple, simply because you asked, Parallel Universes of Self by Frederick Dodson. And don't say, can you say this again, because I will not. Parallel Universes of Self. Is it Self? Yeah, Parallel Universes of Self by Frederick Dodson. The Magician's Way by William White Cloud. Robert A. Russell. What's that book called? Oh, he's got a book called Prosperity by Robert A. Russell. That's a good one. Any book by Ivan Antic. So the law of process and realization, the laws of manifestation. I'm seeing the Jamaican flag in there.
Yeah, shout out to
John Wick. Jamaican guy called John Wick. Nah, I don't want to play with him. Stop. Nero, is it possible to spread yourself thin when manifesting multiple desired realities? Yes. What I always say to people, when people have multiple goals that they want to attain, I always say to my clients, if you can choose one goal that has a knock-on effect on every other goal, that's what you want to focus on. Because the concentration is a centralization of energy. The more energy you can centralize into one particular area, think about it like taking a magnifying glass and putting sunlight through it. When concentrated, it's powerful enough to start a fire. That's essentially what's happening on another plane of existence. So I would say focus on one goal in particular. Is numerology worth studying? If it's interesting to you, then go study it, innit? Do you believe in magic? Define magic. Magic is nothing more than using the control. It's nothing more than controlling your consciousness in order to get an effect. That's it. So once again, what's not magical about giving somebody a sugar pill and saying that this will stop your headache because it's a painkiller, and then their body beginning to react as if it's a painkiller? You don't think that's crazy? As above, so below. The universe has its own placebo effect. Magic is just a placebo effect. So even when you see people doing witchcraft and doing all of these rituals, half them niggas ain't even doing nothing. But it's the subconscious belief that what they're doing, this is real because I've had to do this and this and this, and it's the emotional investment from what they're doing that leads to materialization of what it is. It's a middleman without realizing that they can do that by themselves. Do you think others have free will? I think it's a combination of determinism and free will. I've been thinking about this quite a lot lately. How to manifest a less strict parent. Reincarnate. All jokes aside, it's not necessarily about the way that your parents moving. It's more so about your interpretation and your reaction from your parents. That's it. I'd say alter the perception towards your parents. The more that you see them to be strict, the more you project the frequency of altering the way that you experience them in order for them to be strict. They're probably not strict in other aspects of life. Do you believe in dragons?
Dragons?
I mean, every mythology, from East Asia all the way up to the ancient Mayans, there's all had these concepts of great dragons or a cosmic serpent, right? Dreams and African spirituality, please explain. I don't even know what you just said. You just said words and said, please explain. Those two topics have nothing to do with each other. I don't know what I'm supposed to say to that.
How to manifest Nyash.
How to manifest Nyash. You gotta have what you already have, man. Maybe being in the state of having a Nyash will get you to go to the gym or something. I don't know. Or maybe you'll eat the food and mold where it goes in your body to go to the Nyash. You know what I'm saying? I want to manifest being debt-free. Then you have to begin to understand that what we conceptualize as debt is an entity in of itself that hangs over your head like a particular cloud. And your perception towards debt being something that is chaining you and binding you is ultimately what leads to the experience of it. Even thinking, I have debt. But that particular perception is ultimately what leads to materialization of you experiencing debt. Not because it's something that you necessarily have or don't have, but before anything can exist physically, first it has to exist vibrationally, which is a combination of mentally and spiritually. So you having this debt weigh you down mentally is what leads to it weighing you down physically. So in order to release it, you need to begin to allow yourself to be freed from it. Is the demiurge real? I don't know. How do I put a link on Snapchat?
Bro, still post on Snapchat?
Yeah.
Grow up, man.
I've got like 16,000 people on Snapchat.
That's crazy.
I've been posting on Snapchat all the way from 2019. A lot of you, I'm new to a lot of you, but I'm not new to this game. When it comes to articulating my thoughts and putting my thoughts out there in reality creation, there's people that have actually seen me do this over years and seen that everything has been prophecy. Not in terms of what's going on in the world, but in terms of what was going to happen with me. How can I manifest a 8.5? Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Wait.
Charge that one to the game, gang.
Woo!
Big up Nero. Thank you, Elton.
Drake suck.
No, he doesn't. Drake's hard.
Pause.
Is your book in PDF broke AF? Here it is, bro. Wait, I shouldn't say that.
Bro's not trying to buy it in a PDF version. We don't know what you're trying to do, bro. How do I contact you?
I'm here right now. AJ, you're mysterious, bruh. They're saying you got aura.
The fuck? The hell does that mean? Are you a Christian? Yes, he is. He's actually a pastor at the church I go to.
I'm not
Every single Sunday, bro's there. 9 till 12, then we have a little break, 1 till 3.
I'm not religious at all. And if you do want to be a good religious person, you probably shouldn't watch me. You should probably go watch somebody who's a bit more fundamental. I'm not religious at all. I've read the Bible, and I continue to read the Bible because I've read the Bible intellectually, but not with the lens of the metaphysics that I have right now. I've read the missing Gospels from the Bible, the Nag Hammadi text, which all of them by scholars aren't verified. I believe the Gospel of Thomas is the one that they believe to be one of the most accurate. I've read the Apocrypha, which it's also quite debated if that is something that aligns with the, canonical text of the Bible, if it actually overlaps. I've got the Quran. I read the Quran, the Torah, the Bhagavad Gita, the Talmud, the Tao Te Ching. You know what I'm saying? So I'm an individual that understands that there's no particular monopoly on truth, and as opposed to being separated by the religious ego leading one to believe that there's only one pathway to the heaven, air quotes, I see all as something that overlaps, and I look for the interconnectedness. But you use Christianity? No, I use the Bible. Big difference. There's a big difference between the Bible and Christianity. There was no Christianity when Christ was around at that particular time. Understand the difference. And I use all books. Most of you just probably haven't heard me quote the Bhagavad Gita, but I have. You probably haven't heard me quote the Quran and Hadiths, which I have.
He has. Hi, Ajay, remember me, twin? Yeah, I do. How do I manifest grocery and bill money, Nero?
You should visit India. No, I'm good. What did you say?
How do I manifest grocery and bills money?
Well, think about what that particular thing represents to you. Groceries and bills represent a particular degree of security and stability. More than likely, internally, there's instability, which is going to lead to the externalization of it being completely far from being stable. So you have to understand, it's not necessarily the money that you want, but the state that it will put you in to be able to attain that money and the security and the comfort it provides. But if you enter that security and comfort now, independently to having to wait for that, then things will be good. So you're a Gnostic. No, I'm not a Gnostic. I mean, I just told you that I'm not anything, but I've told you what I studied, but you're still trying to say I'm something. I'm not anything. Haile Selassie book, of course. Naturally. The Lion of Judah, of course. Ethiopia, the only country in Africa that has not been colonized, despite attempts from Italy. Far from colonized. Is AJ a Christian? I don't think he would be. I don't think he is, or he would be around me if he was. AJ looking peng as usual. As usual, isn't it?
Thank you.
How does how much does manifestation model really matter? It really does. If I grew 5 inches in 1.5 months by manifesting, 20 years old. I think you were just growing me.
Must be nice.
You're probably just growing. You know what I'm saying? You're probably just growing.
I'm trying to be 6'3".
For some of us, it ain't working. You know what I'm saying?
How tall are you?
Like 5'9". How tall are you?
5'11 and a half. 5'11 and a half. That's how we do around here. Basically 6 foot if you round.
Basically 6 foot. Air Forces. I
might be 6'1".
Air Force is 6'1". how do you not fall asleep while meditating? Sit in a position that's slightly uncomfortable. So if you see a lot of the Buddhists and how the way that they meditate, for example, in a full lotus or a half lotus, in these very uncomfortable positions, because what they're doing, they're breaking their ego into submission and saying, I'm going to hold you and you're going to listen to me. Because in order to tame the ego, then you have to break the ego into submission by being able to withstand and maintain a degree of exertion over your body contrary to what it wants. So probably sit in an uncomfortable position if meditation is the purpose of what you're going for. Nero, I'm a content creator. I've made 10,000 videos already. I want to earn 20,000. That's a lot of videos. 10,000. Wow.
God damn.
10,000.
You want to earn 20,000 a month?
What do you recommend?
Start a business.
Yeah. Help AJ.
Start a business, bro.
AJ said he's 6'1" in heels. Real?
Elami. Nah. Is that what we're doing? AJ is 5'12". Yeah, you man are mocking it.
Yo, that's funny. Yo, that's funny. I manifested my 23-year-old boyfriend being taller than me. He went from 5'7" to 5'10". See?
Wait, so how tall are you?
You never heard of genetics? Wow, some guys got their girls manifesting for them to be taller. That's mad.
Is that why girls are watching your videos, yeah?
What do you think they're trying to manifest me to be taller?
Yeah.
5'9" is above average. From what I've seen.
Is average not 5'9"?
Nah, they reduced it to 5'7".
We'll find out.
Bro, search for it.
ChatGPT, what's the average height in the UK?
The average height in the UK tends to be about 5 feet 9 inches. Or
Hold on. That's UK. I'm talking about global.
Okay, ChatGPT, what's the average height for men worldwide?
Got it. So globally, the average height for men is roughly around 5 feet 7 inches, which is about 170 centimeters. It does vary a bit from country to country, but that's about the global average.
Okay, thank you. Bye. Okay. Alright. That means I'm good. I'm 5'11".
You're 5'12". 6 foot in heels. 6 foot in heels. But see, even on that concept, a lot of people have this particular perception. So to go back to what I was saying about appearance, a lot of people have this perception towards their appearance being some type of limitation on what it is that they want to attain. And for example, I know a lot of guys that would be like, I can't chat to girls because I'm short. I know a guy, he's 5'1", he knocks down girls that are 6 feet tall. Why? Because he doesn't have this particular perception and state of consciousness that his height is a limitation on his ability to get girls. So the consciousness that he ends up creating through his world, creating his world with, only reflects girls that don't show that. Someone said 5'9" niggas were so back. Real talk.
Someone said, why is my ChatGPT
But see, that's the thing though, because even if you're, let's say, short, if you move with a particular frequency, your height becomes irrelevant. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it is. I love AJ Smile. Me too. You got the fog in your office this time too or something. Listen, the fog is never going. The fog is never going. Can you manifest multiple things at one time? Yes, but I would recommend for you to manifest one thing that has a ripple effect on everything else, to centralize your energy into one point instead of dispersing your focus, because your attention is a currency, a universal currency, and the ability to centralize your attention will end up determining what polarity that you're able to shift from, because polarity is nothing more than vibration at a base level. Vibration depends upon concentration. When you concentrate on a particular pole, that leads to vibration that compounds into frequency that materializes into reality. How can you overcome impatience? Make sure that you put yourself into a state where you have to be patient through meditation. A lot of people have this particular conceptualization on patience, and a lot of people be in the state of rushing things. You have to understand, when you're impatient, that state of consciousness indicates that you're rushing. You'd only rush to see a change, and that dependency on seeing a change is an indication that you aren't where you need to be internally for what you want to be able to be materialized. So if you're rushing for something, there's really no rush if you are already where you are. You understand what I'm saying? Somebody said not down to 6'5", show you he's not lying. Real talk. The man them are out here. Got your book the other day and already about ready. That's fire. What? No, lol. Nobody can grow 5 inches in 1.5 months scientifically. Nero, even a 12-year-old, very rare. Plates closed at 17. Didn't grow for 3 years. Not just my height, my nose, and even bigger.
Well, you just said very rare, so that means it can happen.
Yeah. Are you familiar with cyclomancy? I got cyclomancy right over there. Right here. Cyclomancy.
How do you even fit these books? Like, you try and take one out, it's tough.
Hey, don't shake her, don't shake her, don't shake her. I'm so sorry. But yeah, familiar with psychomancy. Brother Panic put me onto that book. Shout out. Nero, what type of meditation do you... No, I don't do any of that. I literally just sit in silence. My purpose of meditation is nothing more than to discipline my mind and control and calm my mind. So I literally just sit with my thoughts for an hour at a time without disagreeing, labeling, critiquing, validating. I just literally observe them. I have to go work in 8 minutes. At least let me get one question.
I'll look out for your name. I can't pronounce it.
You could have just said a question, but instead you chose to write that.
Real?
You know what I'm saying? Why don't you already believe that I'm going to see your question and maybe then I'll see it? Is Friday the 13th a real thing? No, not at all. But it became a thing due to the fact that it attained millions of people's consciousness to be unified into one particular degree, creating this egregore that it's a bad thing and that it's an unlucky day. So now a lot of people have that on a subconscious level and then materialize bad luck throughout their day. Not because it's a bad day, but because they accepted that egregore.
How can a nigga ask if you work?
If I work?
The audacity.
Nero, do you believe in spirits? Do I believe in a bookshelf? Your book is amazing. Thank you very much. I'd like to take this time. Whoops.
Struggling there, mate?
Yeah, struggling. Amazon bestseller in all 3 categories in less than 24 hours. Make sure you grab this book. Can you drop a link to it, please? I'll text you the link right now to your phone so you can just add it there.
Because Macs are so good, I can just pull up my iMessage and then just, yeah.
No, it's just because you got your laptop there. MacBooks are pieces of scrap metal. I say this because I'm a computer scientist by degree. I have a degree in computer scientist. And MacBooks are pieces of scrap metal.
Just wanted to donate because I appreciate the knowledge and I believe I'm a successful, wealthy YouTuber. Thank you, Nero. Shout out Tony Kirk.
Thank you so much, Tony. That's truly an honor.
Thank you, Maisha Speaks.
Which is funny because even people, don't get it twisted, I'll get YouTubers that hit me up and they'll be like, how did you grow 300k in 8 months? Like, how did you do it? And I'm like, well, I don't operate by the same particular confinements that you guys do in terms of what you believe to be possible and what you believe you have to do in order to get somewhere. I don't believe the magic is in the videos I make. I believe the magic is in me. So then that naturally touches the videos that I make. I mean, even think about the way me and AJ go about labeling videos. Like, we used to care so much about titles and stuff like that. And now we're just like, this title? Nah, what do you think? Nah, dead still. Alright, cool. Put that. And that's literally it. That's literally as far as it goes. Because that's all it has to be. Because we're no longer operating by the confinements and the paradigms of other people that say, oh, you have to make sure you got the best title. You have to make sure you got the best thumbnail. I don't care about that. That's why I'll slap one word in a video and it'll bang. You understand what I'm saying?
I thought AJ was fat. Have some respect, bro. Nero went from £10,000 a month to 2,000. Where did I go wrong?
Probably allowing that particular degree of income or influx of money to take you up here. Here's the thing about reality. Reality rents emotion, and that's a bar, write that down. It will allow for things to go well when it wants a positive degree of energy for you. So when things are going good, and your jobs are coming through, the money's coming through, you're with the right person, you'll be so excited and so gassed. And then without realizing, as Sir Isaac Newton said, for every force there's an equal and opposite force. If you allow reality to take you 10 feet into the air of happiness, then you give the capability of it taking you 10 feet into the ground anytime something goes wrong. And best believe, it's like a loan shark, it will come collect. So the mistake that you didn't make is normalizing that amount of money and seeing it as something that was crazy. Does that make you a magician? We're all magicians. Some people are just good, some people are just bad. Is always saying pause Nero's humiliation ritual. Why would I need a humiliation ritual? Minister of Enjoyment, Intercontinental, Monumental. We gonna live forever.
Someone messaged me the other day. They said they've been manifesting me giving them a new camera. Can you imagine? You see what you're doing to people?
Without realizing that even if you was to give them a camera, they're giving it to themselves. You're nothing more than an instrument through which their consciousness gave them what they wanted. Instead of seeing him as the source or somebody else as the source, why don't you see yourself as the source? And in doing so, you will lead to materialization of what you want, not by limiting the pathways to it materializing. Nero, it's time to come to San Diego. Do you know what's mad? So me and AJ were either going Canada or New York or both. Or you can go to LA.
You want to go back to LA already? Nah.
Now, I had a good time with the mandem in LA. That's what it was. It's not even LA, it's the company. I didn't know AJ was black. That's what's up.
Did you see that? Oh,
The same person that's
Maisha.
been saying they love your smile has been saying it for like 10 minutes now.
Wow.
Have you listened to Osho? No. Is that the dude with the dreads? I think he's popped up. No, is that... No. I don't think so. No. I'm confusing. I completely forget what I said. Got a wretched in my car. We always do the most. Nero skipped my super chat. I promise you I didn't. But now I'm going to skip it. What's that name? It's because I'm going to skip it now. Why would you think I'd skip your thing? Like, I got no reason to skip your thing. You know what I'm saying?
After LA, come through to Mission Bay.
Why does that sound like a sexual position? Come to ATL, you'll feel at home. I'm actually going to be in ATL next month.
What are you going ATL for?
I'm linking up with Isaiah. Because he's from ATL, no?
Oh, thank you.
Have you read Course in Miracles? Never. Thoughts on channeling? Everybody's channeling. Channeling is nothing more than being able to materialize a certain frequency mentally. That's it. And if you think about it, everybody's channeling the frequency that they're calibrated to. You know what I'm saying? That's it. Does this stuff apply for FANG members? I don't know what FANG members is.
hell?
I don't know what that is. Why does it sound like some freaky stuff? I don't know.
For real.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. Playboy Party. Thank you. Nero, where did you get that jacket from? I don't even know. I'll ask my stylist. I have no idea.
Ooh, look at me. I got a stylist. Ooh.
Okay. Now I'm never saying anything again.
I've got a stylist. Please reply to my dono. Let me check on my laptop.
Love those new glasses. I can see your beautiful eyes beneath. I can assure you these are the same glasses I've been wearing for like 2 years.
Nice try.
Nice try though. Can evil eye hold you back to the degree that you granted permission to hold you back? Yes. The strength that it uses to pull you back is determined by the mental real estate that you allow it to take up in your mind. Because the mistake that you're making is attributing causality to externality. Do you know about reality transurfing? Yeah. I read that book about 8 times. It's okay. I am still a big fan. Skip. I have no idea what you're saying. Thank you. I got the Durag Nero. Which brand of shades? Off-white. These shades are off-white, I think. How do I kill an egregore that keeps bombarding with... It's not necessarily that you can kill. It's not necessarily that you can kill it, but you can swap it.
Oh,
you can't. No energy can be destroyed, right? That's one of the rules. Like, energy can either be created or destroyed. It can only be transferred from one form to another. So it's not about killing that egregore. It's about replacing with another. That egregore of fearful thoughts has the energetic polarity of another egregore with courageous thoughts and thoughts of power. You need to centralize your attention on thinking more confidently and looking for evidence in your reality to reinforce confidence back into you to then displace the egregore that you've got swapped there.
Her super chat was, how to manifest a version of my husband that loves me. I do love myself, but it's still not reflecting. I can't leave because we have young kids. Thanks.
Aww, that's so sweet. I don't even know what to say to that.
That is sweet.
What was that?
How to manifest a version of her husband that loves her. She claims to love herself.
I actually don't know. And that doesn't happen to me often. I'll have to think about that. I'll actually think about that. I think that sent me into a bit of sadness, to be honest.
He's going to obsess over this now. Thanks. Thank you. The next 2 weeks is just going to be thinking about.
Yeah, I probably will. Yes, lads. Class is in session. Relax, you're going to get some. What are you telling me? Well, go on, bro. Are you saying you're good? Homelander vibes, naturally. I think, in that particular instance, all I could say... I don't know what to say, AJ.
For what? the situation.
That woman, yeah.
What was it exactly? Manifest a version of a husband that loves her.
Yeah, that's
So what, he doesn't
that's
love you?
That's what I'm saying. That's so deep.
But,
Or maybe, okay, it could be this. It could be that your perception is leading to a distortion in an interpretation of what's considered love from him and not. Maybe there is evidence of him loving you, but due to your perception that he doesn't, it limits your ability to see the instances to which he actually does. That's what I probably would say. But then it comes to a certain point, man. I don't know. Would manifesting happiness have a big... No, don't manifest happiness. Happiness is a fleeting emotion. Happiness comes and goes. I wouldn't recommend doing that at all. A lot of people pride their lives on if they're happy. I feel like happiness comes and goes. I don't know. Come to ATL, Nero. I'm coming to ATL next month. Treat him the exact way you want him to treat you. I mean, yeah, she's probably done that. She needs a new man. If you don't love you, leave him, babe. Yeah. Which is something that was also on my mind, but I'm not here to tell people what to do.
she said she don't want to leave because the kids.
I can only give you the perspective from metaphysics, and this isn't me getting involved with my own personal opinion. I'm just trying to give it to you from a point of spiritual science, because it's not my opinion doesn't really matter. What do you say?
Give it to you.
What
you mean, bro?
You know I gotta give it to her. Yeah, I know what you mean. Thanks, Nero and AJ. Pleasure's all mine. And apologies again. Shout out Morphle. And he's in Bomber on your playlist. See, that's Morphle's my totem. What do you like call it? Spirit animals. In Zim we have animal totems.
I don't know what the fuck that is. Someone wants to do a meet and greet in ATL.
Never doing a meet and greet, no. I don't like large crowds of people unless it's like people that I know. So like after a house party, and invite a bunch of people. AJ was at a house party before we was even properly working together.
Yeah,
like
real.
You know what I'm saying? So after a house party, like, and invite bare people, like provide all the drinks, provide all the, you know, if you whatever, and yeah, but like meet and greets, I don't know about all of that.
That's when I realized Nero was a normal person.
When?
That house party.
That was bad.
Before I thought he was gonna be some weird spiritual
Namaste.
guy with some rituals. I was gonna open the door
and he was gonna see pentagrams. And...
yeah, bro's gonna bow down and be like, welcome, come on in. Here, drink this.
Yeah,
it's just red.
It's just red, and it's just bare thick. You don't even.
Hey, drink this. You'll like it.
Man said that's when you realize I'm a normal person, bro. I am a normal person.
Parties at Nero's, yeah. Party at Nero's.
Careful. I don't need those allegations.
AJ,
you know, ain't no party like a Nero party. You know what I'm saying?
This is how they start, bro. They hear you have parties. And they're like, yo,
that party was crazy. We had like 50 bottles of like Casamigos, Rare Nephew, Henny. Like
I walked in, I seen at least 10 bottles of Henny on the floor.
Yeah.
The counter was already full with Henny. I was like, huh? What?
Back in the days when smart whips weren't illegal. Oh, yo, that's funny. I understand your perspective about looks, but I still want to be good looking. Well, what you call good looking is nothing more than a frequency. Best believe there's ugly people out here that are considered good looking because they deem themselves good looking, and your frequency speaks before you've even spoken. You can do everything you want to be good looking, but don't be surprised when somebody who's less looking than you has more degree of self-confidence, self-assurity, and self-love, has the capability of doing everything that you thought you'd do based upon the external change without realizing that the internal is the cause that affects the external.
I cut off my day ones for the win.
Thoughts on everybody's you pushed out, then how can everybody be on different frequencies? Well, think about it like this. If you think about, there's one consciousness through the universe, like different vibrations. You're saying how can they be on different frequencies? That's like saying how can water be liquid, gas, and solid? It's literally the same energy, different rates of vibrations. It's the same conceptualizations. Based upon the rate of vibration, it changes the way that it's materialized and experienced. It's the same thing with people.
50 bottles of baby oil in the back.
50 bottles of baby oil in the back is crazy. Bro explaining so good, thank you. Free Africa, free the minds of Africans. That's where it has to begin before anything like that can happen, and I say that as an African. It's like, it's a different type of energy out here. What's your thought on that?
Someone said it's so funny that people are airing their issues, but AJ and Nero are just lolling.
How did you become so good at explaining? I don't know. A lot of reading, a lot of thinking. I've been articulating my thoughts on Snapchat since like 2019, so it's easy for me to articulate things. Nero, I acknowledge your artistic. Nero da Vinci.
That's
This
sorry, ultraviolet vision. You're being removed. That's atrocious.
So, finally, somebody who recognizes.
That's atrocious.
Why people out of nowhere stopped putting Diddy and reptilian allegations on you? What do you mean? Why did they stop? What? What?
Bro, so
Abhishek. It's always Abhishek. It's always Abhishek. The same brother every time. Every time. Recognize him? Yeah, bro. I recognize most of these people. If they comment and I reply, I start to just know and recognize people. AJ, you should drop a new vid. I've been waiting for weeks.
I actually haven't posted.
You ain't dropped a video.
I ain't posted for 2 weeks though.
What's going on? What's going on, boss?
I actually recorded a video Wednesday.
What's going on?
Okay, relax, bro. Relax, bro. Nero got them thick lips, bro. You see show him your lips, bro. Where's the Vaseline?
You see, when somebody commenting I got thick lips, it just made me want to hide myself.
Oh, the last chapter of your book.
Is this how women feel when guys like hit on them in like the most greasiest way, and they're like,
"Nah, thick lips is
they're like,
crazy.
where you going, pretty little thing?" And it's absolutely like it feels terrible.
AJ for real turns into an influencer. I wish.
Can you talk about the speed at which something manifests and makes something? Well, okay. Here's what I'll say: the speed at something materializes is irrelevant, because if you're still adhering to the concept of speed, then you're trapped within the paradigm of space-time constraint. The speed of which something manifests shouldn't even matter, because you shouldn't even need to see it physically, because you're already there. Manifestations internally shifting to a degree to which you're no longer emotionally dependent upon seeing reality change. When you reach an internal degree of emotional intensity that your subconscious mind is convinced that this is something that is real, then the speed at which it materializes is no longer matter. But your connection to the somebody's called Mrs. Knowledge.
And she likes your outfit, bro. Where's the Vaseline?
Stop flirting with me before I report you to HR. If you're more aligned to the spiritual plane, then the materialization of things can be quicker, but the speed at which they materialize shouldn't matter, because you should already be there. Nero's a Gemini, chill. I'm not a Gemini, I'm a Taurus. May 16th. Nero, you start midway through answering my question. How does manifestation... Because this guy was making jokes. Manifestation muscle is nothing more than the degree of conviction that you have. A lot of people want to materialize things that they don't have enough conviction for. Conviction is also esoterically what's known as faith. Faith moveth mountain. As it said, faith comes from the etymological origins of the word fides, which means confidence, which is conviction. The amount of conviction that you have, the more conviction, the more manifestation that you're able to do. The bigger the manifestation requires bigger amount of conviction. So in order to build manifestation muscle, it truly matters, because when you have the capability of saying, you know, I'm going to see a red Tesla today, and you see a red Tesla and you go into the world, you get this jolt of confidence, like, okay, this is something that I brought into my experience. And the more that you do that again and again and again and again, that leads to a certain degree of conviction being filled up. So then when it comes now to your dream that you want to materialize, you can do it easily. A lot of you don't actually have enough conviction that you are who you say you are, because you haven't seen enough evidence, because confidence is defined by evidence. That's a bar, write that down. Minister of Enjoyment, Intercontinental, Monumental, you gonna live forever. 2 sisters in the chat, Corinne, Ellen, 2 sisters. Wait, are you Jennifer's sister? I think you're Jennifer's sister, innit? If you are, good afternoon. Nero, some bami and foo with oxtail sounds good. I've never had bami. Oxtail, you can catch me there.
I'm not eating bami again.
Oh, he's Jamaican, so what's bami?
I don't even know how to describe it. I just remember it made my filling drop out, so I'm never eating it.
He's a gentrified Jamaican, so...
Yeah, 100%. 100%. And oxtail's overrated, so say what you want. Curry goat's better. Miles better. Oxtail, so overrated. And you know what put me off oxtail? Apparently the tail of an ox is getting more expensive. So what they started doing is using kangaroo tails, because it looks exactly the same and tastes the same.
They're not putting serious,
bro. I'm being dead.
They're not putting kangaroo tail.
I'm being dead serious, bro. I'm being dead serious. Just like you believe in mermaids, nigga. I'm talking about a real life animal that's actually real right now, and we can prove a kangaroo is real. They're using kangaroo tails, bro. They're using kangaroo tails.
Why you gotta bring mermaids into it for?
They're using kangaroo tails.
Take that card now. Oxtail is the best.
It's definitely not the best.
3-match ban, red card. 3-match ban. Off the pitch.
Now,
Oxtail
Oxtail's
conspiracy,
nice,
I'm dead. Can you imagine? Can you imagine?
Bro. So Oxtail conspiracy is where you man draw the line, but mermaids. Mermaids! This is what you get with black people, isn't it?
It is. It's true.
Mermaids is where we draw the line.
It's true. Kangaroo tails is crazy though.
But come on, they were feeding us horse not long ago, bro. In Tesco's, come on, let's be real now.
Kangaroos are jarring anyways. Have you ever seen videos of kangaroos? They're always beefing people.
Yeah, always beefing.
Why are kangaroos always on smoke?
I don't know why.
I'm not even mad that they're oxtail. If that's true. If that's
I'm not
true.
even mad that they're oxtail.
Bama is like cassava. It's fried or baked.
Yeah. I had it fried, fucking messed up my tooth, bro. That shit
Yo,
was tough.
blasphemous. Talking about oxtail's overrated. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? Can you imagine?
Sleep paralysis.
Where?
Nero, please, I've been wanting you to talk about sleep paralysis.
Stop eating sugar before you go to bed.
That's exactly what you told me.
No,
I'll never forget, yeah. He told me to meditate. I meditated a whole week. On the last day, the 7th day, I got sleep paralysis. Never had it before. I said, nah, this nigga making me do some fucked up shit, man. Oh my... Like, yo, my mom's gonna kill me, like, when she finds out that I'm having sleep paralysis because this random black guy told me to meditate. He was like, nah, bro. You probably just had a coffee or sugar or some shit.
Don't drink Coke.
Yeah.
Don't drink Coke at 11 p.m. and then wonder why your body's awake. I mean, if we're looking at it physically, sleep paralysis is nothing more than your mind being conscious while your body's still asleep.
AJ, that Bammy was old, that's why I'm mad at you. AJ hasn't had real Jamaican food. My mom is actually Jamaican. Born and bred, bro.
Yeah, but sleep paralysis, I mean, there's different perspectives. Like, you can look at it as spiritualized perspective where people say, oh, it's spirits holding you down, or it could be this, or it could be this. But more often than not, things aren't always necessarily as spiritual as they make it out to be. You're probably eating cake at 1 a.m. and then your body is just frantic and your mind is still ongoing. But if you are doing that as somebody who has experienced it multiple times, the best thing that you can do is just relax. Because more often than not, when you're in that state between conscious and unconscious, they say that you can end up seeing things because your mind is still kind of in a dream state. So to be in a state of relaxation distorts your mind in order to see relaxation. Don't panic. Just relax.
Don't panic.
Don't panic. Your work legit was massive in helping me break free from some old frequency patterns, including addiction, which nearly took my life a couple years back. Letting go of the old story is sick. Appreciate you, AJ.
That's amazing.
That's actually fire. Thank you. Thank you very much. What's your spiritual daily routine? Most people have a to-do list. I have a to-be list. My to-be list probably looks like confident, calm, and grateful. And that's the state that I make sure I occupy in while making sure that I'm tapped in specifically to what it is that I want to materialize. See, someone said it's a demon, see? And you get people that will say that, you know what I'm saying? But I know bare Christians that get sleep paralysis all the time, so I don't know what's going on over there, you know what I'm saying? What do you think about Haile Selassie? You mean the Lion of Judah, the descendant of Solomon? I think he's great. I love the way he thinks. I've got his book right there. You know, the way that he was ruling his country. You know, it was the only country in Africa to never be colonized. I think he's amazing.
Has AJ ever been to Jamaica? Been twice, and I'm going back next year. I guess niggas don't believe me when I say my family's actually Jamaican.
They don't, because you do a bad representation.
Yeah,
Hi,
for
Nero.
real.
I just wanted to say thank you so much for the knowledge you shared. Your mother was very proud of her son. I know you say we don't have to donate, but it's just a little token of appreciation.
Wow, £50.
Thank you.
We're making it out the hood, bro.
Thank you. I'm about to go buy. I'm gonna buy a bottle of Hennessy after this.
Oh, you see what
I'm
you're doing?
gonna make sure I get the one that's like £40 as well, so I can stretch that £50 as much as possible. No, thank you, honestly.
Feeding his addiction. Now that's amazing.
Thank you very much. What's your thought on death, Nero? That you enter a plane of existence reflective of the state of consciousness that you left Earth in. So if you live in hell, you go to hell. If you live in heaven, you go to heaven. Or you have the potentiality of parallel universes, jumping into another parallel universe. Or the other one of reincarnation, which is to go into another state of existence. But I don't believe in heaven and hell as geographical positions in the afterlife, as opposed to states of consciousness that you can live in here. And if you live in here, you will take there. Dude, I've commented over 100 times. Comment 100 more times. Nero, your mom's forward made me cry. It nearly made me cry too, which is a lot. So
Daddy is live. Right.
I bought your book, but also found the bootleg one, uploaded it to ChatGPT, and then I told it what I wanted to manifest, and it gave me affirmations. And wow,
that's actually cool.
Smart.
That's really cool.
You helped me manifest the trip to New York. Thank you so much. That's crazy, because we're planning to go to New York or Canada. No, not the low vibrational Hennessy. I'm sorry to sorry to disappoint you, sweetheart. I'm sorry to disappoint you. I love Hennessy so much. I made a song about it. All right, we're getting a bit far now.
Manifesting my iPad Pro, and I'm watching the live from this. I'll send you a picture if you have Gmail. And also scored good in my exam and got Jordans by my aunt that hated me.
Jesus. Your aunt hated you, but she bought you Jordans. I don't think she hates you, bro.
He manifested it, bro.
How can I manifest peace and wealth for a nation or country? Do it for yourself. Because the moment that you become a beacon of light, you walk throughout this world and it's dark. I manifested 7 inches by acting like I got 7 inches. I'm assuming you're talking about height. Surely.
Keep assuming.
Surely they're
that
talking
person
about
said,
height.
Canada, yes please, I'll introduce you to my kids. The one that wanted to manifest her husband loving her. Yeah.
Why you gotta say that again?
I couldn't see the
Why
name.
you gotta say it again?
I couldn't see the name, but I recognized
Why
the
you
picture.
gotta say that again?
AJ Association.
You're all banned. You're all X-hard. You helped me manifest an apartment on the street in the neighborhood I wanted across from the park for 6 weeks. That's lovely. At least we have somewhere to stay.
You guys are all up. You guys got homes for us, bro.
I need your help, please. I've been manifesting my dream career for a while now, but I've been allowing rejections to take my focus. How do I? You need to rewrite reality in real time. So every time that you go for an application or something that is, I guess, representative of your dream career, and let's say you apply for a job and you get rejected, you need to go back, get into a state of relaxation, let your body calm, let your brain produce alpha and theta waves, and synonymous with that typical state of heaven, John 3:27, a man cannot receive unless it is first given to him from heaven. Get into that state of relaxation and recreate that whole experience, but recreate it to be reflective of what you wanted. So instead of them saying, sorry, we're not looking for anybody at this time for this position, make sure you recreate that utilizing your imagination with a degree of emotional intensity to show that you got it. It's about your ability to redefine what happens to be contributing to your desired reality instead of taking something at what the world gives you. Nero, how do I know who I am? I don't know, Josh. Who are you? I don't know. Who are you? Is manifestation just a feeling? Everything's just a state of consciousness. I write this in my book. Amazon bestseller in all 3 categories. All we want in the world is frequency. That's all we want. Literally nothing else. Reincarnation must suck so bad. Yeah, can you imagine you reincarnate into a peak life? I don't know about that one, man. It's peak, fam. It's just... You know what I'm saying? Like,
I don't want to think about that.
Like you're reincarnating into Oliver Twisting. Like,
AJ ain't a yard man. I never said it was.
It's just the Oliver Twisting. It's just pee, fam.
Does your fiance watch your videos?
No, actually.
I manifested being a consistent, successful trader. I am infinitely abundant. Thanks, Nero. How not to fall asleep while meditating? He already answered that.
Sit in an uncomfortable position. Nero, finna manifest, materialize my girl today. Thank you, Brody. You're welcome, bro. Charlotte Poppy. Do you believe in chakras? It's not something to believe in. Their energy centers dispersed throughout the body, from the root being at the bottom, the crown being up at the top. If you go on YouTube and you watch somebody get punched in their solar plexus, you'll see that the solar plexus is the distribution center of all the chakras. It's quite literally a sun that radiates energy up and down the body. If you punch somebody there, you literally send them into what's it called AJ ain't whining yash.
That's the one I saw and started laughing. Yo. How many times should I read a book? I mean, at least once.
I don't know.
AJ needs to get paid more. Tell him, bro.
It's true, innit?
I only get paid about 50p an hour.
Right.
You know.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
It's tough out here, man.
Right.
Starving. I gotta do warehouse shifts, night shifts, because I'm here during the day. Oh, gosh.
They're gonna go run with these lies you're telling them. And then in the video, in the future, somebody's gonna make a video talking about how Nero's a cult leader exploiting AJ. They're gonna clip this and be like, yeah, you're talking about earn 50p an hour, like.
yeah. And the worst part is, it's gonna come from a shitty camera, so everyone's gonna believe it. Like, this
because
is
look, because
leaked information.
You get me, like. Are you the wisest person you know? No, I'm not.
Can I have your workout split so I can have those juicy shoulders? Yeah.
Abhishek again. See, it's always the same guy.
I'm actually moving closer to Nero so I can do his workout.
He's moving into my building, actually.
Yeah. Recording will be easier.
Do you think we're going to see each other more?
I reckon we will still.
Do you think so?
I go gym midday naturally.
No, but like even like when we play FIFA and stuff, like you'll just be in your room, you'll just be in your crib though, innit?
I might as well roll up here though, really. Or you might as well come to mine. Bring your pad.
I'll come to yours.
Just downstairs, bro.
Bottle of wine.
Wine. Isaiah got you one wine like that?
I drink red wine now.
And you had 4.
I drink red wine now, guys.
And you had 4.
I've transcended Hennessy.
Nah.
I've transcended Hennessy and Ray Nephew.
Ray Nephew.
This guy doesn't even drink Ray Nephew for real.
I drink it more than you, bro.
No, you don't.
100%.
At my barbecue.
I brought it to your barbecue.
Yeah, but I drank it more.
I apologize. I bought it. If I never brought it, there was none.
Nah, I would have sent someone to the shop to get it.
You see?
We need that as seasoning for the meat anyways. Will you make an audible of it? Yeah, I'm waiting for my mom because I want my mom to read the forward, but she's been busy. Do you ever struggle with self-doubt despite your knowledge? Yes, I do. If not, how long did it take before it wasn't an issue for you? I do, naturally. Everything that you lot go through, I go through too. Don't think because I know this information that puts me above you. Yes, it may give me the ability to, put myself back in check much more quicker. But really and truly, I literally go through everything that you guys go through. When it comes to self-doubt, I have a whole video on self-doubt, so you should probably go watch that. But I will say, self-doubt is the alarm bell of the old frequency when it feels under threat. So now, anytime that I doubt myself, I know that that's a sign that the direction that I'm moving has to be maintained. Does this knowledge apply for gang members? Yeah. I tell this to my boys in jail.
Allow me, y'all should get matching PJs for the sleepover. You think you're funny. I see you.
She thinks she's funny, innit? Yeah, she thinks she's funny.
Matching PJs.
Matching PJs. Only matching PJs is private jets, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Please need the digital version of your book. You can literally pirate it, you know what I'm saying? Or you can just click the link above and purchase it. I need that £30 for AJ's 50p. You know what I'm saying? That'll cover me like a couple years and was that like 60 months or something? That's crazy.
At least I know my paycheck's coming.
You know what I'm saying? AJ, what football team do you support?
Manchester United. Fortunately and unfortunately.
I don't watch football, guys, so please.
He supports Man United as well because I whip him all the time on FIFA with it.
I just told you that I don't watch football, so.
No, you probably support Arsenal right now.
Why? Just because my client's from Arsenal?
Yeah.
I support him. You know what I mean? That's it.
I'm going to have to go soon still.
Slow down, it's that. Oh, you're about to cut, innit?
Yeah, time's flying.
Alright, cool. Well, someone said RIP United.
For real? It's sad.
If you're cutting, then I'm going to end this.
How long you been live?
I don't know. Probably like an hour and 15 minutes.
Yeah, I need to cut before Leah gets back and whoops my ass.
Pre this.
How do you even respond to that? I would just laugh. I don't even know. I just laugh. I would just laugh, bro. I don't know what to say to that. You've been live for an hour and 13.
I'm at 13. Is this even worth keeping on the channel?
Yeah, keep it, bro.
Alright, cool.
By the way, the video we recorded today, I think that's really good.
Yeah, the
I see
video.
a bunch of people are asking questions.
Can we actually release it this Sunday? I know you're busy. Please.
I'll try.
Please.
I'll try.
Please.
I will
Please.
try. I will try.
This is a guy pay 50p an hour, guys.
You see him, he's begging me and he's not even paying me extra. He'll probably say 51p.
I was gonna be cheeky and say I'll take it to 70p.
Oh.
You know, let's not get crazy
That's
now.
not like you.
Let's not get
That sound like
crazy.
you. You must really want this.
Yeah. Yeah, but guys, we're gonna end the live because AJ's gotta go. So, I'll see you later, Jennifer, and your sister. How do I end this again? I do it from here.
OBS?
No, I do it from here, innit?